It was recommended to us by somebody that was in the hospital. They had heard that it was a good program and that it took care of only teenagers, and that was important, that they were only teenagers here, not adults, and so that everybody here specialized in that one age group. He was really struggling with drugs, and there are so many kids that use them recreationally, but it was a big struggle for Jack, and I saw him losing things like time and slipping in school and being unhappy, and it was really causing problems for his life. Yeah, he was just unhealthy, and it was sad.
I didn't think I needed treatment when I first got here, but then a few weeks in I realized that I had a problem and I needed help.
It was just putting a lot of stress on our family in the house. His siblings were not wanting to be around him because he was just changing so much, and that began isolation for him.
I started to notice it when I was sober. Not when I was using, I didn't really notice anything.
I actually contacted a company to help with finding a rehab facility that would be good and had a successful track record, how long the company had been in existence, hiring practices. It was important to me that there were people who were qualified, not just somebody who wanted to do a good job and had a big heart. I needed to know that somebody was specifically trained and had gone to school for these particular things. So this one company had contacted me and said, I would only recommend Sovereign. He said, I'm sure there's other great places, but he said, I know for what you're asking that this is the place that meets your needs. And he was not connected to Sovereign. He just said that he knew the track record of the company, the good hiring practices, and the success for teenagers.
My first impression when I got here was this place is a dump and I really didn't want to be here. I thought about running out of the door right when I got in here, but I stuck around for a few days and the people were really supportive, and they said that facilities don't matter. What matters is the people that run the facilities and what they want to do to help you. So that's what made me stay here.
They were really good with communication. When once we got here, everyone met with Jack and was very thorough. So I knew that they knew what he needed, and they asked such great probing questions. And then once I got home, you're just so worried. I left my child, and no matter how good the place is, I left my child. And I got wonderful updates. They emailed me information. I get a phone call. I get phone calls almost every day from his house manager, just letting me know he's doing well, what we're doing. All the staff has been able to communicate and put me at ease and let me know how his growth is progressing. It's really important.
The IFP was a pretty good program, and the family therapy really helped because many of my problems came from family, deep down inside. So letting all of that out and telling somebody about it really helped.
I really like the intensive family program because we were able to see our child, and we learned so much information, and every time one is presented, it's different information. But it was great information every single time, lots of different things. And I like that we could be in the room, that our child was in the room with us, because we were hearing this important information, we were both hearing it. It wasn't something that I was going to tell him later, and he might be thinking, oh, she's trying to teach me something. It was great to hear that at the same time. One of my favorite parts about this. And it was not just one way, like teenagers should behave this way. They were teaching us what their brains are doing right now, how a typical teenager behaves. So it was teaching there was just as much for the teenager as there was for the adult. Right. They're teaching us about them too.
My therapist is, she's very professional. I feel like she's a good match for me. She knows what I'm going through, she knows what I need, and she looks over my needs more than my wants. So that's something that helps me a lot because I don't always know what's best for me in the long run. So just having a good family therapist has really helped me through this.
I believe that the clinical staff are caring people. I know that it takes a lot of education to get to this point, and there's a lot of other choices that they can make for a living. So clearly if they chose this, that's where their passion lies.
Right.
So I already think highly of them for that. They're always very respectful and straightforward, and I appreciate straightforward because you know exactly what you're dealing with.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about interpreting. And they always deliver information in a kind way, whether it's positive or something negative that happened. So I appreciate that. Well-educated, professional, and caring.
Probably Ricky and Rebecca, Denisha, Dylan, Jeff, AJ, Cameron, Paul, Saul. They're really nice and laid back, and they're not rude, they're funny, and they're pretty caring.
Priya was wonderful. Priya's wonderful. Claire, Tony, very on it. Sharon was very kind and quick with information. Everyone that we've interacted with. So everyone's been good. For me, it's having patience, understanding that when something happens, that it's not always because of me or even because of him, but just to be patient, to have sympathy and empathy for him, and to know that communication comes in all different forms. And if he tells me something in a calm way, or if he tells me something when he's upset, that it's still communication. I can listen to the message rather than the delivery, because he's a teenager. And that's been very helpful. I feel like I'm much calmer, ready to receive feedback, and it's been much more positive for us, much more productive.
I see that I don't always have to react to other people's actions, that I can just focus on myself and learn how to not be such a pushover, not give in to what other people want, and just mainly focus on myself. A typical day would be waking up in the morning around 7:30, eating breakfast around 8:30, then going to group, and then another group, and then there's always a break in between, and then lunch at 12, and then more groups up until like 3:30, and then after that it's pretty much free time the rest of the day, and then dinner's at 6:30, and then after dinner go back in the house, watch TV, watch movies, eat snacks that are provided, they're pretty good too, and then go to bed at around 10. The groups vary day to day, but for the most part they are repetitive, just so you can get the same message through your head, because you have to hear it a few times until you finally start to understand. My favorite group here is probably CBT. It teaches me how to change my negative thoughts into positive thoughts, and then positive thoughts into positive actions. So it really does help me change my outlook on life and my outlook on many negative situations, and how to just switch them around, pull a complete 180. What I'll take most away from my experience here is probably learning how to be a leader and learning how to say no. Because if you don't say no, then you're probably never going to get what you want in life. I'd recommend Sovereign to a friend. All the staff's nice, the facility's nice for the most part, and it's in Southern California, so it's always sunny all the time, nice 72-degree breeze, so it's a very nice place to be.
And I would recommend Sovereign to anyone who is a teenager. To anyone who is a teenager. They go through such specific things. When you're only dealing with teenagers, you can do that really well. Also, anyone who's thinking about it, if you're thinking about it, then you know you have a problem in your house. And if you don't take care of the problem, it's only going to get worse. And then they're going to get older. And then it's going to be harder. So to move quickly when they're young, to seek help and seek positive people that will help you, and not being afraid to let others see that your family is struggling with this. Because sometimes that pride is so great that people don't put their children first. And your child comes first always. When they struggle and they need you, that must be the priority. Just don't wait.
Yeah.
Don't wait. Get them good care. And to take care of, and for the parents to take care of themselves too. Because I found out about Nar-Anon from Sovereign Health. And that's been one of the best things for me and for my family. And connecting with other people that are going through that. And in Nar-Anon, we have people who, they have children who are active users. They have children who have already recovered for many years. And there's even people whose children have passed. And all those are possibilities for our children. But to find each other, I didn't even know it existed had I not learned about it here.